So we have all been taught to go find God out there somewhere. It makes sense because in our material world, we're also taught to go outside of ourselves for everything, right? For money, for love, right? For support, for peace, for kindness, all of that. We are taught to go outside of ourselves to find it. You're not whole unless you find a partner to make you complete. There is a constant narrative of you're not enough by yourself. But universal spirituality is your pathway to God. Where is God? Right here. God is within yourself. This is why God is omnipresent everywhere and for everyone all the time. God is omnipresent because God exists within yourself, in your spirit, okay? Behind what you call yourself, behind your identity, within your body, in the deepest part of you is your spirit, okay? This part of you knows the truth about everything. This part of you is what feels when people are lying to you. When something don't feel right, it's coming from your spirit, you know? When something feels off, or when you feel super comfortable around people and you're like, they're on my vibe, that's your spirit telling you this is the direction you should move in, right? God, or the source of energy behind all things, is connected to your spirit, okay? We are a part of God, right? All of us have the spiritual part of us that's deep within us, you know? And this is why it doesn't matter who you love, what you look like, what you do. God is connected to the spiritual part of you inside yourself. So all of these external things that we are taught that we have to do to even earn God's love or do all this stuff for God, God is laughing. Like, nah, y'all, you don't have to do all these things to find me. I'm right here. I'm already here. And we have a misconception that we have to believe in God. But we actually don't have to believe in God because God is already here. There's nothing to believe. God is already here. God doesn't care if you believe or not, because you are always going to be guided. You're always going to be shown the way. You're always going to be loved. Why? Because you are a part of God, and that spiritual part of you is the constant part of you that's connected to God. You cannot separate yourself from God unless you separate yourself from your body. And then what happens? You go back to God. When we die, we go back to God. There is no separation from God. There is a misconception that we are separate from God because we're in our physical body, and we forgot that God already exists within ourselves, you know? God reminds us by sending us emotions and feelings and signs and symbols, right? This is the language of spirituality. So you have a spiritual resonance as you're going through life that gives you a sign from your spirit that says, yes, this is for me, you know? And we have given our power away so much so that we have given this part, say, hey, society, tell me what's right for me. Anything outside myself, tell me what's right for me, because I don't trust that I am connected to my spirit, which knows the truth that's connected to God. We don't trust ourselves. We don't trust our intuition. We don't trust our gut feelings and those subtle signs and synchronicities that come from God. We trust the stuff that's outside of us, right? The stuff that's not for us. We don't trust the stuff that's within us. And our spiritual journey really is a lesson back inside ourselves. Have you ever made a decision and you didn't go with your gut feeling, and then you go through this whole painful experience just to go back and say, I should have done what I felt was right in the first place? That was your spirit telling you the truth, right? But you didn't believe it because we're taught that we can't trust ourselves. We are not enough on our own. We need all of these external things to validate our choices. The truth is within you. The power is within you. If you're confused about something, you just need to sit down and listen and find clarity within yourself. You don't need to ask nobody. It's in yourself. God gave us the free will, but God said, you're not alone. I also have the spirit inside yourself that will tell you the truth. God is always with you. So when you're doing shady things, God is still with you. And you feel that feeling of guilt, your conscience poking at you and saying, hey, you shouldn't have done that. That's God in yourself. God is allowing you to do those negative things, but God's still with you. supporting you and giving you feelings that, hey, that's not okay. When we do great things and we move forward, God is also there with us then and telling us, hey, keep going. I'm going to send you that spark of excitement to remind you that this is the path that you want to go. Our free will is about how we accept or ignore the feelings of our spirit, the feelings and the connection that come from God. You know, some of us completely deny this connection and say God's not real, such and such. But God don't care if you believe or not. That would be a condition on God's love. And universal means unconditional, meaning there are no conditions that will block you from this spirit that's connected to God. God is always sending you vibrations to let you know where to move in your life, sending you good feelings, sending you bad feelings, sending you things to protect you and guide you. Your free will is whether or not you want to listen. Do you want to believe the feelings that you have are right? Or do you want to go with your mind and what people tell you to do? Well, when you continue to do that, you move away from yourself. And that's when people feel disconnected. That's when people feel lost. That's when people lose themselves and put themselves on a path of society in the world's chaos. We have to go back inside ourselves because everything we need is in here. The wisdom, the truth, the guidance, the love, it's all inside ourselves because God provides it. God connects to us. If we want to talk to God, we talk to ourselves. God is here, not out there, in here. Universal spirituality.